The yellow alert issued by the Met Office for Trinidad and Tobago continues at this time. Earlier this morning, there were reports of flash flooding in Port of Spain, Cocorite and environs. We have with us meteorologist Ean Wallace for an update on the weather conditions. Ian?
Thank you, Mahalia. Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service put both islands on an adverse weather alert yesterday evening, and landslides, landslips, street or flash flooding, as well as gusty winds are expected from Tuesday 11 a.m. all the way until Wednesday at 8 p.m. Now, obviously, you should be monitoring conditions as you go about your business, because we'll get additional rainfall over the next few hours and indeed possibly next day or two. So we could be seeing some of those landslips and land slippages occurring by then. So right now across Trinidad and Tobago, we have been seeing some of those heavier bursts. Rainfall falling, especially early this morning around Sandy Grande. Up to 50 millimeters recorded in parts of Sandy Grande early this morning. Out towards Piarco, we've also seen some significant rainfall there. We could be seeing more rainfall, maybe additional 30 millimeters over the next day or two. Could be seeing some isolated amounts of 50 millimeters, especially around Tobago and then up towards Grenada and the southern Windward Islands. So be watching this quite closely in terms of the amount of rainfall, as well as the possibility of a street or flash flooding and landslips and landslides. So for Tobago then, still heavy showers expected this afternoon. You may see some easing. There will be some intermittent spells of just light to moderate showers, and then in the early hours of Wednesday, and expecting another burst of heavier rainfall at 24 degrees Celsius. That will be the low tomorrow in Trinidad, and we're likely to see some of the heavier bursts, especially towards the early part of Wednesday. So watch out for that if you are commuting again tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, offshore, the short east-northeasterly swells remain at 9 seconds, looking at waves of 2 meters in the Caribbean. But because of the activity offshore with those gusty winds, you could be seeing a moderate chop pushing up to 2.5 out in the Atlantic, and we just have that high tide at 5:45 p.m. Now, we have obviously more activity out there in the Atlantic. We now have tropical depression number 10. It formed at 11 a.m. This morning, and it is set to take a track towards the northwest. It'll be moving over some favorable conditions. That is, some very warm waters, 29 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius in places. Its general track is towards the northwest, possibly nearing the Leeward Islands by Tuesday or Thursday. So we'll be watching this quite closely as well. Meanwhile, we still have Umberto, which is heading for Bermuda, and they'll be watching this because it could be a major hurricane at Category 3 by the time it reaches them. But obviously, any close pass to Bermuda will likely bring the possibility of not only the rough surf, but also some gusty winds, tropical storm force at times. So we'll be watching that as we go through the next few days.